What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, and it's that time of the year where we start doing the top 10 countdowns. So here we go, the top 10 statues of 2022. And this year, I'm going to keep it all to pieces that were released this year. I did pick up some older pieces, but I picked up enough new ones that I can give you my favorites that came out this year. Before we jump into it, I do want to give an honorable mention to the PCS 1/3 scale Wolverine statue, which I missed out on the first batch. Definitely picking it up on the second one, and I think had I reviewed it this year, it probably would have made the top 10, especially as my collection is going more towards 1/3 scale. Starting with the bottom of the list, coming in at number 10, it was kind of hard with all of these Prime 1 Studio Dark Knights metal pieces to rank them. I unboxed quite a few of them, but I decided to put the Dawnbreaker in at number 10, mainly because of that base. I love how much translucent resin was used in all the different constructs. The zombified Dawnbreaker face looks amazing as well, and this piece just has a lot of presence with the height on the 1/3 scale and how tall of a piece it is. The Dawnbreaker from Dark Knights Metal, Prime 1 Studio, coming in at number 10. I only included one more from that line on the list, and it's number 9, and it's the Red Death, the version of Bruce Wayne had he tapped into the Speed Force, becoming an evil version of the Flash. I really like this piece because of how dynamic it is. He's crouched down and leaned forward, and I thought he was going to look smaller in the collection. Still a massive piece. I love the big translucent anime swoosh that's included on the back as well. Awesome base, riddled with skulls, great detail on the armor, from the sculpt to the paint. The Red Death coming in at number 9. Moving on to number 8 on the list, we have a Sideshow premium format. So not everything on this list is 1/3 scale. I'm talking Dr. Doom, the Daniel Bell sculpt with the huge fabric cape and flags in the background. I like this piece ever since I saw the prototype at Sideshow Con back in 2021, and it didn't disappoint. This piece is massive, especially for a 1/4 scale piece. Love the sculpt on Doom. I feel like that huge cloak really does complement the piece, and it allows for not only less box space when it comes to shipping, less weight, but you can pose it and really make it your own. And you can also display this piece without the cape, as I showed off in the video here. Awesome Dr. Doom piece, easily made it up on this list at number 8. Number 7 on the list, we're sticking with Sideshow, and I had to give it to the Martin Canali Captain America. Another one that I got to see the prototype early. I think it was the same time that I saw Dr. Doom, and I just remember it being such a massive piece for a 1/4 scale cap. I think this is easily the best 1/4 scale Captain America statue. It's dynamic, but he's got his size. He's beefy, he's muscular. He's got his shield showing the ricochet from the bullets that he's evading, and pairs so well with Taskmaster and their Thor statue. Coming in at number 6, it's a piece that I just recently reviewed, also from Sideshow, their 1/4 scale Nightcrawler. What an amazing statue. I had to pick it up so that I could review it, see it in person, even though I'm not collecting that line right now. Love how they did the paint applications on the base, whether it's the blue metallic paint of the Sentinel hand or the pinkish hue of the Vamp. Nightcrawler himself is so well done. Yeah, they could have probably used a little bit more expression in the portrait. It is a little bit plain looking back at it. And also, rewatching my review, I did critique some of the seams for the Banff clouds in the palm of that Sentinel hand, but honestly, in that review, you couldn't even see him. Their Nightcrawler from their X-Men line is one of their best. All right, now we're moving into the midway point of this list. Coming in at number 5, another 1/3 scale statue from Prime 1 Studio, the Jason Fabok Detective Comics 1000. This Batman piece is enormous. One of the tallest pieces that I own. And what can I say? You're taking a top tier comic book artist, you're taking his 2D design and making it a 3D sculpt. That's what I'm here for. Love the uplifted cape as he's on top of this building. He has switched out portraits so that he can be looking straight forward, to the left, to the right, or looking down. I choose to have him displayed upward, looking down over Gotham City. Such a great companion piece to the Prime 1 Studio Superman Hush, as well, as you can have them both up high, looking downward, and they're both extremely tall pieces. Coming in at number 4, another premium format by sculptor Daniel Bell by Sideshow. It's their Carnage statue. Everybody was digging this piece when it was first revealed, and I think the reviews have all been positive as well. They did a great job on this Carnage. I'm going to go out there and say it's my favorite 1/4 scale Carnage that has been released, at least when it comes to licensed statues. But I love the paint applications. You have the high gloss on the black part of the symbiote. You've got the more matte red undertones, which really look like exposed muscles. The weaponry that Carnage carnage forms out of this symbiote. Just nails the character. Digging the portrait. The base did have a little bit of a top heavy feel to it, but honestly, once it's displayed, never was an issue. All right, guys, we're on to the top 3, and it got kind of hard to place these in order. Number 3, it's another one that I just recently reviewed from PCS, their quarter scale Last Ronin. Now, this could have easily made it higher on the list, but there are 2 other pieces that I really did love that came out this year. The Last Ronin is a top tier piece. I held off on it because of the price, decided to bite the bullet and picked it up, and I was so happy that I did. I'm talking about the Supreme Edition that comes with his fallen brothers behind him. Not only is the Last Ronin himself so well done, but the storytelling aspect of this piece really just hits home, and that backdrop of light green really adds to the darker nature of the Last Ronin statue. Awesome piece, coming in at number 3. All right, guys, number 2 on the list. Again, very hard to pick from 1 and 2, but I went with Queen Studios' life-size Venom bust. Even though a lot of those pieces had issues and I had to get it repaired, it's an amazing piece. The detail is second to none. I haven't seen detail on a life-size bust like this ever. And even if you compare it to some of those medical-grade silicone pieces from Queen Studios, I still feel like the 100% sculpted polystone look of this Venom knocks those all out of the park. Because I do think, yeah, it's difficult to make something look realistic, but once you nail it, that's what it is. It just looks like a person's head on a pedestal. This is something 100% out of fantasy. You have this alien symbiote monster. The tendrils are flailing everywhere. The interior of the mouth is where this piece really shines, with all of the teeth, with the high gloss tongue, with the saliva drips coming off of the tongue and those teeth as well. Love this bust. I can't wait to pair it up with their Carnage that should be coming out early 2023. All right, guys, we are on to the number 1, my favorite statue from 2022. And it's funny to even think that this was released this year because I reviewed it so early on in the year. I'm talking about Legendary Beast in collaboration with XM Studios for their 1/3 scale Magneto. Easily one of my favorite pieces in my collection and the favorite piece that I reviewed this year. I love the Jim Lee inspired statue brought to life, whereas that was really just a bust for the comic book cover, has been transformed into a full body Magneto. You have the magnetic sphere that's forming around him, and then you have the different switch outs that you can pose him, showcasing his energy in one hand, his other hand outstretched, with a variety of portraits as well. I choose to always go with the angry portrait, but I think they nailed this on all fronts. The base itself is a little bit plain. It's kind of just destroyed metal, almost looks like a satellite, but I feel like similar with the Prime 1 pieces, it's kind of a muted base that really allows the color of Magneto to pop, as well as his energy sphere. That Spider-Man booth is currently in open enrollment for their January subscription box. Not only will you get over $100 in value, which includes 5 comics, store exclusives, and variants, but you'll also get a variant exclusive to this box. For January, it's a Quested #1 with cover art by Alex Regal. They only made 600 of the regular editions, 100 of the foils, and 50 medals. Swing on over to thatspidermanbooth.com right now and sign up for their subscription box. Legendary Beast and XM Studio are doing some crazy things. I've already pre-ordered their Hulk statue, and they just revealed the painted version of their 1/3 scale Thanos. Cannot wait to transform this collection to all 1/3 scale. We're talking Legendary Beast, XM, PCS, and Prime 1 Studio. Those were my top 10 favorites. Let me know which ones were your favorites in the comments down below. Any that I didn't review that came out this year that you think would have made this list, drop me a comment. Appreciate you watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.
DJ Links.